Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodaloo 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 doo. Subscribe. So I just watched The Power of the Dog. I'm trying to watch all of the Best Picture nominations this Oscar season, and I believe I only have one left. Yes, I only have one left. But The Power of the Dog, just finished it. I I think this one's kinda up there for me when it comes to all of the Best Picture nominees. This one's up high. I don't know if it's number one. Could be in the ranking anyway. It just kind of depends. I don't know. It depends on what my criteria is. What equals a Best Picture, which I feel like changes all the time. Actually, it doesn't change. It's just what am I prioritizing, from year to year. And I guess that's what it is. But what I really liked about this movie, I think there's probably going to be spoilers, but I'm going to try not to, but just in case, I should probably say that. So, to me, this movie, it's like a Western, but it felt very Hitchcockian, I felt like. Or, I don't know, I just felt like I was watching an old-timey, I guess, Hitchcock movie. Like, it felt like a Hitchcock Western, in a way. I was getting, especially, Norman Bates vibes a little bit, but Norman Bates not with, I don't know, Cody Smith McPhee was giving me sort of Norman Bates vibes sometimes, but they have different reasons behind, what they're doing. So, I don't know. I mean, did you even know it was about here come the spoilers. It was sort of about a murder, I guess. A like stop. I don't know. What am I trying to say here? This movie actually has made me think. I feel like I'm saying nothing right now, but I'm really saying nothing at all right now. I'm trying to dance around this movie to figure out how to talk about it, and I don't know. That's the problem with these impromptu reviews. But I don't know. We have Benedict Cumberbatch. So this movie takes place. I'm just flopping around everywhere. This movie takes place in 1929, and Benedict Cumberbatch is not out. And so, I don't know, he's built up, the world he's lived in, he's not really able to. And he's bottled all of that up. He has had a lover that has died, and he's really clinging on to that, but doing so in secret. And a lot of pent-up rage is created, I think, from some of that. Because you can see there was a time when he was very happy and in love, but now that his lover Bronco isn't around anymore, he is a very angry person. And mean and cruel, and he's cruel to Cody Smith McPhee, and he's cruel to Kirsten Dunst, who's playing Cody's mother. And I wouldn't say like the cruelty is highly visible. He just has like a presence, like an aura that is, you don't want to be around me, and I'm dangerous. Like, I feel like everything we've seen him do, to humans anyway, was verbal, but we do see him beat a horse. So that was, that was very hard to watch. But the movie kind of like sets up that he is a torment on Kirsten Dunst. But again, we don't see a lot of that. Again, it's more of like his presence creates this for her, right? And he's just sort of against her from the beginning and makes that clear. But I don't think we see anything else happening. And if we do, it's not on camera. It's just kind of like he doesn't like her. He lets her know it. And is just like kind of verbally abusive towards her. And just whenever he's around her, his attitude is just awful. But yeah, we see all of that. Cody Smith McPhee sees it, witnesses it, and it kind of seems like develops a plan for how are we going to get rid of him. And that's sort of what the trailer set up. And I was kind of surprised because the trailer kind of tells you everything that's going to happen, but you just don't know the whole ride, right? So while you're watching the movie, that's when you get the ride. But I feel like the trailer was very much Benedict Cumberbatch as a bad guy, mean to Cody Smith McPhee's mom. Cody Smith is McPhee is going to kill him, right? That's exactly what the trailer alluded to, and that's what happens. But you get more information along the way, right? So yeah, just the path towards the killing felt sort of Hitchcock-like to me, and I think some of that was just the overall tone, I guess, of the movie. That is what did it. I can't think of any like specifics right now, but I'm just thinking of a lot of Hitchcock's movies beyond like his earlier stuff, earlier work before Psycho, that just sort of makes me feel like I don't know, even maybe like Rebecca a little bit, just the way people are speaking, the way people are interacting with the environment, which it takes place in Montana, but it was filmed in New Zealand. Yeah, I don't know. It had like a thriller's not the right word, but I think Netflix described it as ominous, and it's definitely that. You just feel uneasy, you know, and every time Benedict is on screen, he brings a heaviness and like you're walking on eggshells sort of quality. And Cody's trying to end that because he does not want his mother feeling that way. And yeah, the title, I think at the end of the movie, maybe they go a little bit too far with the title, because once Cody Smith McPhee has achieved what he's trying to do, he opens up a Bible, and in the Bible we see a verse, and I don't think we see like Cody as his name's Peter in the movie, right? We don't see him as like devout or anything like that, or doing anything Christian or anything like that, if I remember right. But so that was like, okay, what? Why is he picking this up now? I don't know. I think maybe I wish there were more like clues into him being a man of faith or something there, and maybe they were there and I just missed it. But I felt like the ending where he reads the Bible verse that says, "Power of the dog," that might have been a little too heavy-handed, because it's like, man, I can't remember the exact verse how it goes, but basically it's deliver. I don't know, what is it? Keep my darling safe from the power of the dog, or something like that. So it's like his mother was his darling, and he wanted to keep her safe from the power of the dog and the pack leader, because it wasn't just Benedict Cumberbatch. It was, sort of all the ranch hands also that were just kind of, bullies, basically. So Cody Smith McPhee cut out the leader of the pack of dogs, and hopefully things will change. And we do see that they do change. And his mother is no longer tormented by him. So, but yeah, I just felt like the Bible opening, while it was cool because it gave you an in as to what the title of the movie meant, it just kind of felt like it was giving you an answer that would have been better, I don't know, researching afterwards or thinking about it afterwards, that sort of thing. Like, why would this movie be called that? It was just kind of like, it made it a little too clear in regards to why the movie's called that. Plus, we don't see him looking at the Bible or doing, religious stuff any other time. So it was just kind of like, why is he doing that? And why is that important to him? I could be wrong, though. Maybe he was reading the Bible and I just didn't catch it, Ever seen the Book of Eli? Yeah. So, I don't know. I like this movie. Just as I was watching it, actually, let me say at the beginning, Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent is always so hard for me to listen to. I'm like, what's he saying? What's he saying? It's like so deep and like vocal fry-ish or something, that I have a tough time deciphering his words. So it took me a while to finally pick up on what he was saying. But then it eventually, worked out. But the way Cody takes care of Benedict's character, a lot of that I think felt Hitchcockian to me. That did. The way in which it was all sort of planned out, figured out, all of that. Adam Beach is in this movie, but only for a second. I like him. He had a run on SVU for a while, and I'd like to find them. I'd like them to find a way to bring him back to the show. I always thought he was good on that. But yeah, Adam Beach is in it, but very, very quickly. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm still trying to figure out this movie myself. I'm just kind of rambling here, but in the end, I like it, even though I'm having a difficult time articulating my thoughts. My only complaint, and it's barely a complaint, because while I feel like I have a problem with it, it doesn't bother me that much, and I can also, I don't know, easily shift my brain into thinking I like it, is the pulling out the Bible scene at the end. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about that. But it has a lot of biblical, like, not just that passage, which I wasn't familiar with. Probably read it multiple times in my life, but it wasn't like when I heard this movie was called Power of the Dog, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I like the Bible. But David and Goliath, it's kind of that story as well. Cody Smith McPhee being David, and then Benedict Cumberbatch being Goliath. It's defeating the monster, or the giant. Kind of a, yeah. I mean, that is what it is. It's kind of a David and Goliath story, but I don't think that verse is David and Goliath. But regardless, I'm just tripping over everything. I hope I'm not ruining people's day. I'm at like 12 and a half minutes now, so I'm sure people have clicked off by now. But right now I'm liking it. I know this one was a favorite to win Best Picture at the Oscars. I know Coda's doing pretty well right now. It just won the Producers Guild. We'll see what happens with the Writers Guild. That might be when is that happening? Is that happening tonight? But it's kind of a Power of the Dog, Coda, flip of the coin right now, people think. If Coda wins, it's going to break a lot of stats, though, because it doesn't have very many nominations. And yeah, it would be a stat breaker, where Power of the Dog, I don't think would be a stat breaker. Thing is, though, Power of the Dog is slower. It's not, I don't know, I don't think it feels super slow. Like Drive My Car felt, I think, kind of super slow, even though I was engaged the whole time. But this one, I think I can imagine people saying it's slow, where Coda is just a feel-good movie. And I know they're doing preferential ballots this year, and I can see people, the feel-goodness of Coda, putting Coda in the top 3. Like, I can see Coda just being in the top 3 of almost everybody who's voting, right? I can see Power of the Dog, some people calling it number 1, some people calling it number 10. I don't see people really putting Coda as number 10 because it's such an emotional film. So I can see Coda beating Power of the Dog, but I don't know. Power of the Dog for a long time has been the front runner. Maybe it still is. I'm not really sure at this moment. But I think it's a good Best Picture winner. Right now, I think I only have 2 that I feel that way about. Like Coda, based on an emotional level, like not necessarily an artistic level, or like through film form or anything, because it's just a feel-good movie. But I don't know, sometimes I feel like that could be an interesting Best Picture winner, a feel-good movie. Like, what's wrong with being populist sometimes? Because I think Best Picture can mean a lot of different things. But from a more artful standpoint, a sort of a murder story, I think is a cool Best Picture winner. I think Power of the Dog would be good as well. So those two are the ones that I would have highest on my list anyway. So I'm cool with either one of those. And I still have Licorice Pizza to watch. Who knows how I'll know about that, or how I'll feel about that. I think I'm going to see that movie on Tuesday. So when I see that one, I'll be able to make a list, a ranking of how I would vote if I were part of the Academy. So I'll probably make a video on that. But I don't know, and my opinions could change. I feel like they have already with some of these movies, like movies that I felt pretty good about or not caring about as much. Time will do that. Like right now, I just saw Power of the Dog. Will I like it 2 days from now? Who knows? But anyway, I've gone for 15, 16 minutes, so if you made it to the end, that's really cool. If you didn't, you're not hearing me say this, but I understand because I was really rambling today. And perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.